Good afternoon, everybody. It's 4:20 p.m. on May 23rd, 2024. We had a lot of rain here in eastern Kentucky this morning. It was actually raining really hard. But it stopped. The sun came out a little while. Now it's overcast again and more rain is expected. But I just wanted to give you a quick hello and read some emails that I have received and have been watching. I think that you might be interested in the conversations as well regarding targeting and food tampering, etc. But anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading, exposing one criminal at a time here in Eastern Kentucky. I hope that you can like, share, subscribe if you haven't already done so. And remember to hit the notifications bell, and welcome newcomers and welcome to those back to my channel. So anyway, there's a conversation going on one of my email accounts of a group of targeted people. I'm on several email lists, and I don't always have time to participate, but some of the conversations are really interesting. So I'd like to read this one to you. So the topic is PERP accomplices. So one person is saying, at this point, I realize that perps are people who consider themselves to be the quote-unquote elite, either locally, nationally, or even on a world scale. They simply want power. This is so simple and obvious. I don't think they act for quote-unquote the state or the army, such as religion, etc. They simply work for them, in big bold print. Here's a short list of the constant tactics and strategies they use. They work hard to get a good position, but if they can't succeed by work, they will cheat. I have multiple examples of people cheating at school and university exams. Oh, I've had this too. I had actually a girl in one of my online courses cut and paste my exact words into another course, and I caught her. She got expelled anyway. This not because they like what they study, but to get to a high position, like a company executive, a medical doctor, a police officer, etc. Of course, once in the position, they follow on, using any means to maintain themselves or progress. Meanwhile, they're steadily harming the reputation of challengers. They simply start with a total lie. They are not accusing people in the face to avoid any defense. Only killer words and hints. Only small acts that most people would not consider this important or fight back. To give a precise example of someone in my family regularly, quote-unquote, gently commenting on people, he is silly, he is paranoid, etc., little scratches. The efficiency of this techniques come from the sustainability over decades. It could be total lies. In fact, it is better if it is based on a total lie. For example, like, he's a pedo. Because they run the show. There's no defense against something totally invented, crafted by a perp. When these lies were repeated again and again after years and years, even if only rarely, it draws a totally biased portrait of the victim. And since everyone makes a mistake from time to time, let's say that somebody has a quarrel or whatever, it will happen one day that they will be in a position to say that the person was always having this trait of character, He was always paranoid. He was always liked children. Note, liking children is not an accusation. They rely on a false interpretation of the listener. They can go a very long way against someone with this technique without even breaking the law and without reaction of the victim, who does not even hear half of what's said about them. Could you imagine what people say about you and I and everybody else? Could you imagine the concocted garbage? This is why it's all big, dark secret. Imagine if we had due process and went before a court of law and subpoenaed all of the neighbors and all of your perps and got them on a witness stand, and you were able to ask them any questions you wanted on the record. Yeah, wouldn't that be wonderful? They might subtly, physically poison people, of course, using a stealth technology, like a DEW, which is directed energy weapons, at low power. That might help. It was said that some people simply use a modified microwave oven to send microwaves to other people. TIs regularly have their pets poisoned. Others have their crops and plants infected. I can raise my hand to that. And the car damage, etc. These and other techniques to get a higher position than their challenges or maintain a position in their family that is used to have. Oh, you know what? It sounds a little bit like the mafia. You know, you have to unalive somebody to reach the next level. But these losers, rather than work hard to achieve something themselves, they have to piggyback on the lives of others. Most are from leading families. I don't know, folks. Do you know what the leading families are where you live? I don't think there are any leaders around here, frankly. Most are from leading families, even if they might seem to be or were indeed degraded to a state of tramp, dog pump, member of a gang. Oh my goodness. Or how about a black ski mask? The precise example I came to knowing recently is that a lady who spent here her life following this path of conduct is indeed a member of the Bloch family, BLOCH, i.e. the Dassault family. I don't know who these families are, by the way. I'm just reading this. The Planes and Weapons Company. Oh, it's a Planes and Weapons Company. Okay. She has the usual profile. She was a young offender girl. She could not behave, constantly and efficiently complaining against her mother, stepfather, father, then boyfriends. And he says, I was one of them. Always seemed to be a victim. In fact, she had unalived her brother and had been to the psychiatric ward when she was a teen. Then, unknowingly to most people, a strongly push to do so. While she seemed to be very bad at school, she graduated from the best considered military engineering school in France. I don't know how, but considering her family ties, I'm not sure if she ever had the true level. Now part of the military establishment and using her position to continue harming people, like me included, of course she's certainly hard-working and maintaining a good reputation now, while still harming that of other people. Unfortunately, I could write a similar path of life concerning many other people around here. So, somebody responds. Let's see, she responds. Okay, so somebody responds to another part of this discussion. It's really very alarming to hear that there was a break-in while you were away from home. That could be an extremely dangerous situation in many ways that are not obvious. I have been a victim of multiple break-ins where poison was placed in or around food, cosmetic items, eating utensils, clothing, and bedding. At one point, I almost died after noticing that a coffee mug had been moved to an unusual place, and as I cleaned the mug, some of the liquid inside spilled onto my fingers. They became blue and numb from cyanosis, and within seconds, I had a life-threatening heart problem hours later. I treated the event as if it were accidental chemical exposure incident and rinsed the poison off in the shower, as if it were a chemical safety shower for an hour or so. If an object has been coated with a poison that is dissolved in a chemical solvent that causes it to permeate the skin, then there is sometimes a sensation of tasting something bitter seconds after touching the chemically treated object. The sensation is caused by the poison entering the bloodstream and quickly circulating towards cells in the lips and mouth that are extremely sensitive to bitter chemicals. Usually the object would also feel more greasy or oily than normal, or else it would be unexpectedly wet. I have additionally had issues with food containers being opened and tampered with while I'm away, and cosmetic items like shampoos and hand soaps having chemicals added to them that cause burning or numbness when I use them. Any exposure to an unknown chemical could quickly turn into a life-threatening problem. I actually responded to this. I said, hi, so-and-so and all. I said, thank you so much for all the very useful information. I'm one of the targets who has been tested for heavy metals. That's extremely high and literally off the charts. I do not smoke. I've never smoked cigarettes or anything else. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink soda. I don't even eat store-bought eggs anymore. I grow my own. I eat organic food. I don't take pharmaceutical drugs. Half of my hair has fallen out since I moved to Kentucky. I have got a low battery light. I've just got to plug this in here. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. My animals are being tortured with radio frequencies 24/7. They are recorded, and I post them on my YouTube channel, Alternative Homesteading. The criminals do open boxes. They don't take the time to close them, though. They go into the corners and open them. They'll dent sealed mason jars. If you ever see the button pop on the top of your food, throw it away. That means not only has air gotten into it, but the criminals did too. If you normally use sugar and salt, that's extremely smooth with no lumps, and then suddenly you find lumps in your sugar and salt, merely remove the lumps. They have poisoned your food. They also deliberately dent cans to make them unstable and for the possibility of air getting inside. They have watered down my Dawn dish detergent, Castile soap, etc. They spread this is a pithy taupe brown dust all over everything. It's extremely thick, particularly spraying it inside my chicken coops. Obviously, I have to clean the coops on a regular basis, and they're hoping that whatever poisons they spread in the coop, I inhale. They also perform witchcraft. And the pithy dust, particularly over the doors and windows, is called gopher dirt. If you own a home, the witches and the three masons like to plant creeping vines. They particularly like to use poison vines like poison ivy, poison oak, poison vine. They also like to use creeping Charlie around your buildings as a binding. That's part of their binding spell or ritual. I hope this helps somebody who is afflicted by these disgusting tactics. So let me go on here and see. There was a message that I saw that was really interesting. It was with regard to InfraGard. It was with regard to, let me just see if I can find it. So now one subscriber writes, perps are controlled just like us. They are low men on the totem pole. They make no decisions nor have any power. They do as they're told, and most work for InfraGard, the FBI, or Citizen Corp, FBI, both companies contracting with the Department of Homeland Security. Don't waste your time fixating on them. They are protected because of who they work for. If they try to defect or disclose about the targeting program, then they'll get targeted. For example, the FBI InfraGard registration papers as a business with the Arizona Corporation Commission called E-Corp. All companies, even with the targeting program, have registration papers with each state they operate in, and get the facts. So this one posts, actually, I'm going to show you the photo here. This one is InfraGard. Okay, you see that? It's called InfraGard Phoenix Members Alliance. I know here in Kentucky it's called InfraGard Kentucky. And I've posted before on my channel a website that you can go to. Actually, you can search for it. Let me see if I can even search for it right now. Let's see, InfraGard. There's an InfraGard portal. Okay, it's www.infragard.org. And this is what it looks like. Welcome to InfraGard. InfraGard is a partnership between the Federal Bureau of I have to say instigation, the FBI, and members of the private sector for the protection of U.S. critical infrastructure. Through seamless collaboration, InfraGard connects owners and operators within critical infrastructure to the FBI to provide education, information sharing, like through fusion centers and your neighbor perps that steal your mail, go into your mail, come into your house, steal your checkbook, steal your license plates from New Jersey. And how about stealing your master's degree? Talk about identity theft, huh? So so they network and have workshops on emerging technologies and threats. Yeah, so they're having conversations about you and I. We're threats. InfraGard's membership, it's a membership, includes business executives, entrepreneurs, lawyers, security personnel, military and government officials, IT professionals, academia, and state and local law enforcement, all dedicated to contributing industry-specific insight and advancing. Come on, guys, say it. What do you think it is? What are they advancing? National security. Okay, yeah. They're doing a great job. Great job. So then you go down to, you can go down and you click on chapters. And then you can see all the chapters here. And then when you find the chapter closest to your home, you cut and paste that name into the IRS website. And you find out the IRS nonprofit lookup. And you find out if they're a 501c3 nonprofit. And if they are, you can request information from them directly. You don't need a FOIA request. You won't need a FOIA request for them because InfraGard is considered a chapter. It's an organization. It is a business, but it's not considered a government entity, even though they're the right hand of the FBI. You can request information in writing from them. So I'm going to scroll down here, and we can go to, let's see, here's Boston. Let me see here. Field offices, Newark, Nebraska, Massachusetts, New Hampshire. Oh, here, Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky, InfraGard. Let's see, it's loading. Oh, you're kidding me. I just clicked on InfraGard Louisville, and instead of getting sent to an InfraGard page, look at where I was redirected. You can report suspicious activities and crime by contacting us 24/7. Really? I might take you up on that, FBI Louisville. I've got a lot of suspicious activities around here and crime, including dead animals. Yeah. Holes in my buildings that appear overnight. How about people walking around with black ski masks as a disguise? Yes, okay. So I went to InfraGard, clicked on InfraGard Kentucky, and instead of being sent to InfraGard, I get sent to the FBI. So that tells you all you need to know about InfraGard. They are hidden within my favorite Bureau of Instigation. Oh, and let's click on the recruitment tab here. Let's see. Oh, look at this, guys. If you reside in Kentucky, please contact a Louisville recruiter regarding an FBI career opportunity. Oh my goodness. Oh, the last event was 2023. Here you go. So anyway, so InfraGard, let me just go to the IRS website. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so here I'm on the IRS website. Charities and nonprofits. Let's see, tax-exempt organizations, because you know that InfraGard is likely tax-exempt, right? They're probably tax-exempt. So let's see if I can look them up here. Let's see, tax-exempt organization search. Let me click on this. Okay, well, let's see. It usually gives me a little box to click on. Businesses. Are they considered, is InfraGard a charitable organization? Would InfraGard be considered charitable? Okay, this is the definition of a charitable organization. Organizations organized and operated exclusively for religious, charitable, scientific, testing for public safety, literary, educational, or other specific purposes, and meet certain other requirements, are tax exempt under the IRS Code 501c3. So, would InfraGard be considered a charitable organization, or would they be a political organization? A political organization is subject to Section 527 and is a party, a committee, an association, a fund, or other organization, whether or not incorporated, organized, or operate primarily for the purpose of directly or indirectly accepting contributions or making expenditures, or both, for an exempt function. Then there are other nonprofits. Organizations that meet specific requirements may qualify for exemption under 501c3, and these include social welfare organizations, civic leagues, social clubs, or labor organizations and business leagues. So it would be interesting to find out. Let me see if I can find InfraGard. Okay, well, I'm going to have to go to another page. I was not prepared to do an IRS lookup, but I figured, okay, as long as we're recording here, I'm going to have to look up InfraGard for several states and see how they appear on the IRS website. But anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Beware of food poisoning. Beware of people entering your home. I know it happens to me. Happens all the time. I mean, they leave the evidence behind. Knocking things over, denting cans. You know, denting cans requires some force. Especially denting a very thick lid. These are very angry people. Imagine waking up every morning knowing that you're going to go into somebody's home and dent cans, dent things that people use for food. And they get paid to do this. Imagine waking up and this is your life. Would you rather do that for a living, or would you rather be targeted? I don't know if that's a good question to ask. But it's very bizarre, and it's very ill, and it's very psychotic to accept payment to harass innocent people for profit. But anyway, I hope you found some of this information interesting. And please remember to hit the thumbs up. Helps the channel grow, get the message out there, and I will talk to you soon.